Good morning, everyone. In an alternate universe, we'd be leaving the European Union right now, but we're not, so we're still here. I work for a company called Geenee. I just want to do, how many of you here have got mobile phones? If you do, can you just turn on the camera and lift up and just look around like this? Just quickly do that. All of you, like this guy here is lifting it up, you're waving it, yes. Look, we live in a world where we spend most of our time looking down like this. And I don't know about you, but I've got tech neck. And I think there's going to be a generation whose neck is constantly focused down rather than up. And the challenge is that technology has pulled us down into the phone. This has become a window into technology, not a lens into our lives. Look what happens when we are walking around looking down. Yes, stuff like that, we all know. The other challenge we have today is that the mobile app economy and the ad economy is pretty bankrupt. The ads are shit, most of it's from bots, and so display advertising, even search advertising to a certain extent, has to change, and it needs to be moving into more of an experiential play rather than the advertising that we know today. And the final one is that digital and the physical world don't connect very well. So if you think about how you bring all of the stuff we've got in the virtual world to the physical world, just as you're lifting up your phone there, it doesn't really connect. And so how do we bring those two worlds together? I like to live by a philosophy of technology needs to learn more about the humankind than the humankind needs to learn about technology. So this is a typical virtual reality. I'm sure we've all been there. That's just a way of living in a world and not connecting with our daily world. So what our mission at Geenee is to do is to combine and bridge the physical and the digital divide seamlessly with a thin layer of technology that over time becomes invisible. Okay, what does that mean? So we are a technology company that essentially is a software on mobile devices that interacts with the world around us via our camera and then delivers contextual experiences. So anything that exists in the virtual world, be it any media asset class, a video, a game, an AR, a web AR interaction, we can, as a moment of inspiration, use any object or a branded object, any video or any image to bring something to life, at the moment via your phone, but in the future with different hardware, to life in that moment. So bringing the virtual worlds and the digital worlds together. Let me give you an example of how that works. You could be walking down the road and see a Spider-Man poster. So the new Spider-Man movie is coming out. You can stand there, you lift up your phone, and via the browser, so all of our work is done via the browser. As I said, the app economy is dead. Via the browser, you can activate amazing experiences today, which in this situation, you've got Spider-Man jumping out as an AR experience. But on top of that, you can also have actionable content. So content that can link you through to the nearest cinema, to go and buy tickets, to even go and buy merchandise. So you're bringing together content and commerce in the real world at that moment of inspiration, and this has never been done before, and this is a whole new revenue stream and a whole new advertising experience that we're building out as we go. We recently did something for Warner Brothers and It Too. I'll show you a little bit of that as you go. So any of the bus stops that you saw in London that held their poster, you could go up and activate the experience. It asks you to access the camera. This is done off of one of their trailers, and you go up. It reads the image, as you will see here. It then activated a small little web AR balloon movement. So if you've seen the movie, it's a constant motif in the movie. And then you can start to see how you can get deeper engagement via Pennywise, and it just takes you deeper into the experience. So for someone like an entertainment brand, this is a fantastic way of driving deeper engagement to their already analog assets that exist in the world. You can see the engagement here, 49% completion rate, so 1 in 2 people, 8% watched the trailer, 6% opened the ticketing link, which then went through to buy, and 10% nearly repeated the experience. This, in comparison to what in digital advertising is about a 0.1 click-through rate, and generally across a lot of other marketing content, about 2%. We see the engagement rates, they are much deeper and they're much richer. The final one, as it's got a bearded fellow in it, is we worked with Miller Lite on St. Patrick's Day, and you could activate off of any can at this time, and then you could use our technology to place what became a very bearded leprechaun. I'm not sure where they got the inspiration for this, but they tell me it wasn't me in the office. But you could place this guy anywhere, take a picture, and then socialize that out. It's very playful, it's very entertaining, but along with videos and the ticketing and the actionable content, you can see how you can add utility to that. So at the moment, AR is very playful, but we're shifting into a world where you can engage with commerce and engage with content in a way that can become much more utilitarian. Why are we starting in the advertising field? Well, eMarketer says that this market, conservatively, this year is worth about $160 billion. And on this rather, here we go, up here, on this rather messy chart, you can just see here, within the next 4 years, AR advertising, which is in the blue, is going to be the most significant spend on enterprise as we move forward. So we think this area is the greatest way for us to gain traction and gain scale. And also, if you think about it, people love to engage with playful things when it comes to AR. Working on a fully utilitarian enterprise side of things might be good, but it's a much longer upward tick and curve. So how do we work? We've got essentially two different parts of our business. The technology side, we've got some of the best people who are developing visual recognition and image recognition in the business. SLAM technology, OCR, that's the reading of text from the camera. And we've got some, as I say, some of the best people in the business. In terms of the creative side, we can also add creativity, consultancy, and engineering. So if you want to just use our API and run off and do what you need to do, you can do that. If you need us to come and help you consult and engineer and work out those ideas to execute, we can also do that. Why now? Well, look, technology, brands, and consumer trends are all indissolubly wedded. They're all moving at the same pace, and it's very hard to distinguish those two out now. The adoption curve for people, certainly millennials and Gen Z, using their camera via Snapchat and Instagram to see the world and add filters and stories is a common language. So we're starting to see the lifting up of the phone to activate visual images as something that is commonplace and common parlance. And from everything from content to commerce now, people know we can do on our mobile phones. So all of that coming together has created a trend in which we feel like this company can exist. Our clientele base and ecosystem, we're working with a number of different people from, as you saw there, entertainment brands to CPG to fashion. But we can work with publishers. We can plug into a Microsoft platform or a Snapchat platform who can use our API to engage and deepen that engagement when it comes to using our technology. As I just said, brand and licensing on one side from a SaaS model, so you can use that and run off and engage with our technology as you see fit. And we can also work with you across a number of different verticals creatively and through to execution. In terms of our raise, we raised a single-digit number for our seed in the last 2 years. We've just finished raising nearly a double-digit number for our Series A. Still a little bit of that open. In terms of our projected revenue, we're on course to hit what we've got for 220, and they're moving forward. Enterprise value, we think in this space, once we're looking at consumer and enterprise, could easily be a multiple from 10 plus. So to finish off, Geenee is a technology company that is activating the world around you, bringing together the virtual and the physical at the nexus of mobility, content, commerce, and edge computing to deliver amazing experiences for both consumer and for enterprise. Thank you very much. That's us.